thanks for joining me today. We're doing another video today of James Chadwell II and things that make you go, 42-year-old James Brian Chadwell II was arrested from his home in Lafayette, Indiana on April 19, 2021 for kidnapping and near fatally assaulting a 9-year-old girl from his street. He had beaten her, set his dog on her to bite her, chained her to a bed he held in his basement, and raped her while he was strangling her. Her injuries were so severe she had blood coming out from her eyes, and she has now been drinking from a straw. Thankfully, quick-acting police officers searched his home and found the little girl. Thank God for that. James Chadwell II has been charged for attempted murder as well as other criminal acts in this case. This piece of shit, as I call him, has had prior serious convictions, but not one as heinous as this. Quick disclaimer, James Chadwell II is innocent until proven guilty. I know, but it has to be said. So his previous crimes involved trespassing, possession of a firearm, recklessness with a deadly weapon. There's aggravated assault. I know there was a prison officer or a police officer that he had assaulted. There's stolen property that he received. And there's resisting law enforcement, drunk driving, that kind of thing. So he's had a bit of a history, this guy. So in most of his videos and statuses on Facebook, Chadwell reflects on life, saying things like, "We're all in this together and human compassion makes us who we are."
It's human compassion and consideration that makes us who we are.
And other posts show, they hold a darker vibe, like, "I hurt myself just to feel alive, and I'm not the angel that's trying not to be bad, I'm the demon that's trying to be good, I wasn't ready for this." So he really has this conflict going on within him, it seems. And if it's not an actual conflict within him, it's something that he perhaps is trying to portray to the world. He's portraying to the world that he is this really nice guy. So on April 18th, the day before he kidnapped the little girl, he recorded a TikTok video in which he said, "All you chicks on TikTok trying to sling your booty or sling your taco, whatever you're trying to do, you need to wrap that shit up. It ain't working. We got Pornhub for that shit. We don't need your little extras, so take that shit somewhere else. We're looking for a real woman, over age of 30 and confident, and you know who you are." Now, if you've seen the video, all of his TikTok videos are pretty creepy as it is. He's just got this really strange vibe to him. And in some of his TikTok videos, you'll see that he seems to have this, like, a lighter vibe to him. He's smiling and smirking at the camera. He's saying all the right things, all the good things to those he's supporting, like, I can't remember what it was, the Black Rights Movement or something. There's other things he was talking about, like, I've got your back, you've got mine, if we've got each other's back, that kind of thing. But then in the other videos, he was really cynical, really, really had this very low, dark type of vibe. So as I said, he's like two people. He can change, So if you haven't seen the first video I did, you can check it out on my channel. It's all about all the photos and weird stuff that's come through and spirit sessions around him as well. But yes, he is like two people. He has this really dark, he does have a dark side to him. And saying things like this, and there's other ones about addressing little children on there, like the young ones on TikTok, he's talking to the audience. And I can't remember exactly what it was now, something about the rape culture and different things he was talking about. I'd have to go over that one again. But yeah, he says some really weird things. He's just got some really weird things going on and a really disturbing vibe at that. So he says, "We got Pornhub. We don't need your little extras and we're looking for a real woman." Who is he talking about when he says we? Is he talking for all men? Is he, we sort of saw in the other video that I did that he may have a bit of a split personality going on. Is he talking about himself in a third person? his this particular video that he said this stuff in, you know, it's a pretty straightforward message that he doesn't like women who are out there, you know, showing their seductive side and whatever it might be. He thinks they're slinging their booty or taka or whatever he's this, you know, trying to do. So he's got an issue with that. He's not happy about women that are, you know, he looks down on women who are doing that. So he's saying, we got Pornhub for that, you know, we don't need your little extras. So it's kind of like he's talking for all men there as well. And he's saying over the age of 30, so he's actually put a specific age on there, you know, which is just so, well, it's disturbing considering what we know what he's done. But it's interesting at the same time. Why over the age of 30? Is he trying to come across as someone who, you know how some men go for the real younger ones? You know, they might be in their 40s, but they're going for like a 20-year-old or something. It's almost like he's trying to make himself look decent in some way. Or he might think that, you know, in his mind, he might also think that, you know, 30-year-olds or over the age of 30, that they're not little girls and more mature, because he's saying and confident. And then he goes, and you know who you are. So does he have someone in mind, or is he just, you know, putting it out there like, you know who you are? If you're like that, you know who you are type thing. Like, you're different to the other women I've been talking about here. He's just really, yeah, his mind is really just kind of going all over the place, you know, and he kind of sees things as good or bad, which is kind of like that borderline personality where you see something as really good or you see something as really bad. And yeah, once again, that's narcissistic traits that we saw in the other ones as well, where he's, you know, trying to make out he's all good and he's got morals and values that he stands by, etc. And in 2018, he's put this post up saying, single women over 34 are a lost cause. Okay, so he's all over the shop. He doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know what he's saying. He kind of like believes something for a while and then he'll change his opinion on it, and yeah, it's not consistent. So his videos aren't the only things that are strange. So on his Facebook page, there are numerous photos, status updates, as I said, and memes posted that depicts dark humor. And a story of someone that is a loner. You know, he says he dislikes people, he has issues around women, has an obsession for bridges, my God, and railway tracks. Like, he takes photos of all these bridges, says, you know, something about wanting to sleep under a bridge. He camps outdoors, you know, nothing unusual about camping outdoors or taking photos of things. But it's just when you put it all together, you know, it's quite interesting to see. And I have found some videos as well, or pictures that, you know, I've put on the other video as well that I find quite interesting. Some are disturbing, of course. But yeah, as it says here, he has a love for his pit bulls. He has a love for his fire pits and fishing. You know, he has his pit bulls, Outlaw and Angel. Outlaw is the one that he mostly, you know, obsesses over. He idolizes that dog. And no doubt about it, that dog, or those dogs, would have been euthanized by now. So they would have been put down by now. And, you know, I know, you know, you've got to have a tough line with that. They have to be, because they're a danger now. I just feel so sorry for any animal that has an owner like that, you know, because they're still an innocent animal that's been taught to do that to another innocent being. So in this photo, he's posing in the photo. He's put a status up on 13th of June 2020 saying, Saturday 8 a.m, drunk and loving life, I'll die when I'm old, ... So when you click on the photo, you can see it. You can see him more in the picture there. He's got that tattoo on his arm of the crying, you know, the girl crying blood on his arm. And there's a campfire behind him. He's obviously out camping somewhere. And he's looking down, and he's looking down at what looks like perhaps his tattoo, or it could be that pink thing between his arm there and his chest, there's something he's looking down at. So to take a closer look, we can see the tattoo on his arm of the crying girl. And she's got like bone for hair. Some people are saying this looks like Libby from the Delphi murders. We've got the pink shoe, or what looks like to be a pink shoe, some people are saying, with the white sole there. We can see like the heel of the shoe, and then we've got the backbone of the leg there, what, you know, if it was to be a leg. And it just looks like a small foot and a leg going across there. So is he looking down at that thing, whatever that thing is? You know, or is he looking at the tattoo? You know, it's really hard to know, but I feel like he is looking at that thing in between his arm and his chest there. It's all up for speculation. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a plastic thing. He could be putting it on there just to, you know, make us want to guess what it is. Who knows how his mind works? I mean, is it actually a little girl's shoe and a leg? Or is it something else entirely? We may not ever know. What do you reckon it is? So here's another photo of him outdoors. He obviously loves camping, he loves nature. At first glance I just thought, okay, he's out in nature taking photos of himself and trees. But when I looked further into this picture, I think it was more the look on his face, there's an expression there. I wanted to look further at, you know, what's going on in this picture. And so I looked at his eyes and where they're going. And so I realized that when I zoomed in on the picture, there's actually something behind him in those trees. And I've had to zoom in on it. Here it is here. It looks like it could be rubbish, could be clothing. There's one section that you can see it's kind of crumpled up, it looks thicker. I've got no idea what it is. On the little part on the left, on the bottom there, looks like, you know, it looked a little bit like there could have been a face on there. I'm not saying it's a person, but it's just interesting, this, whatever this pile of stuff is, it looks to me like it's definitely crumpled up. It could be clothing. Yeah, it's just really bizarre, and I'll show you this photo where he looks like he's looking right at it. So his eyes are not directly looking into the camera. It's like he's looking in the camera at something. And so I'm wondering, is he, you know, because in the original photo he's holding the camera up above himself. You know, it looks like he's actually looking at that to see if it's in the camera's view. I really hope the police find these locations, you know, and that they actually do check out that area for anything suspicious that he might have left there or buried there, or, you know, God knows what evidence might be there, because he's a shady guy. We know he's got a criminal history, and we also know recently he's been arrested for attempted murder and strangulation and raping a young girl. Who knows? I don't believe she was the first victim. I do not believe she was his first victim. How do we know he hasn't killed others? You know, the fact that he had a bed in his basement with chains on there, you know, I think it was chains on there. He's obviously been either prepping for this for a long time, but I don't believe it's his first time. I don't believe that he was off practicing with this young girl. I think he's done things before, and he could be a serial killer for all we know. I mean, there's no record that he's actually killed somebody, but, you know, there's a great suspicion that this could be the case, because there was no doubt in my mind, there's no doubt in my mind that he was going to kill that young girl. So he's posted this one on Facebook on the 2nd of June, saying, "Love me some nature therapy." We saw that before, those photographs. And then the next one he's posted on the 13th of June, which is what we saw before with the pink that pink thing in the photo. Now, it looks like, when we look at this, there's an 11-day gap, right? It goes from the 2nd of June, and then he's posted something else up on the 13th of June. He is wearing the same exact gear. He's wearing the same hat. He's wearing the same shirt. It looks like in the photo, with the campfire behind him, it looks like the same kind of area with all the greenery, etc. I mean, it could be anywhere, but it's just very interesting he's wearing the same stuff. So has he actually gone out there on 2 different occasions wearing the same stuff? Or has he posted on separate dates? Has he waited like 11 days before he posts up another one? It's just really weird, guys. And I'm thinking, like, 11 days out there, if he has been camping, what's he been doing all of that time? It's oh God, it's freaking me out. Like, I only just realized this as I was about to edit and save my video to put up on YouTube. This is when I saw this, and I thought, hang on a minute, he's wearing the same exact clothing. What's this saying, I wonder? Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about that thing behind him in the trees. I'm worried about that thing between, that he's looking down at with the pink, whatever that pink thing is. And I mean, are we looking too much into stuff? But I don't know, guys. Another strange photo that I've found of him, just being his obnoxious self. But he's got like a green-blue nail polish on, and it's the only photo that I have seen on his profile where he's wearing nail polish. I mean, where did he get it from? Why is he wearing it? I'm not opposed to guys wearing it, I know it can be a style and a fashion, but it's just really strange that he's wearing this, and where did he get it from? Has he been in connection with children? It's a scary thought. So this is another post he put up 2 months after the Delphi murders. I'm not saying he is the murderer, but I just find some very strange, correlations between them. In this one he says, "Oh my God, took me forever to see the faces in this. See if you can find the angel and the demon. Wow." So it's obviously dirt being poured into a hole, and it's interesting that he has posted this picture. It's not a meme, okay? It's not a meme that he's found somewhere else. He's actually chosen this picture to put on there with the words, "Oh my God, took me forever to see the faces in this. See if you can find the angel and the demon. Wow." And then down below in the comments he says, "Yeah, I may be full of shit. Can't believe you just wasted that much time searching," with a little winky face. I mean, it's sinister, isn't it? I mean, it is quite sinister. Knowing what we know now, this is quite a sinister photo. And we don't ever really know, is he just playing with us, or is this really something to be worried about? And yeah, the timing is interesting as well, I've noticed. So I had posted this one on my last video that I did, and this was posted by him on July 4th, 2020. And he says to a friend that he's tagged, "Always look up." So it looks like a beautiful tree, nature, all that kind of thing outdoors. But when looking more into the photograph, I actually noticed something a little more sinister. There's that word again, sinister. You can see this bike in the tree being wedged between branches, and it's green like his bike that he owns. So I'm wondering, is it actually his bike? I'm thinking it is. And I did see a comment someone had made, and it could be, I don't know the facts of it, if it is real or not, but knowing his history, it probably is. They stated that he had an ex-girlfriend who thought he was a bit crazy. She kicked him out of her house, and then he was spying on her or stalking her by putting his bike in the tree, and just that sneaky behavior, and she had to get an intervention order on him or something. So don't know about all that, but I mean, we don't ever see anything in the history of his criminal record that I can remember. But, I wouldn't put it past him, guys. I mean, look at this. It's just really quite creepy. So this was the date, February 13th, 2017, that Abby and Libby were murdered at the High Bridge Trail in Delphi, Indiana. And I know a lot of people, he's now being looked into as maybe, being the bridge guy, the guy that actually did this to them. It's just interesting that this is what he says: don't cling to a mistake just because you spent a lot of time making it. It could be a coincidence. We don't know, but it's just very strange, if we're thinking it in line of what happened that day. It would have been really awesome if Facebook produced the time. Like, I know years ago, I don't remember how long now, but I know that there was, a time when Facebook would actually tell you the time. So you could look at when someone had actually posted it. I'm sure maybe the police could probably find that out anyway, but it's really something I wish that they would keep on there. It's a really good idea, I think, to have that on there, to know. I'm wondering when he might have posted this. So he's taken a picture, or he's posted a picture of his landlord's truck. Interesting that Spirit in my last Spirit session, the last video I put up, had actually stated that there's, trucks and things around him. But once again, it's on the same day that the girls were murdered. Is this in any way connected? That's what we need to find out. So this photo was taken in October 2018. And it's him. He's got longer hair in this one, and he's just taking a selfie with a beer, I think it is, there, and just, looking at his fire pit. I looked into the fire pit and I can see what looks like to be a glove or something. I could be looking into something that's not there. Sometimes that can happen. Things can look really weird in fires as well. But look closely at this thing here. What is that? Is it just wood, or is it a glove, or is it some kind of gardening tool, or am I just looking at, nothing? What do you reckon that is? So I came across this on his profile, and I know it could be nothing. I could be looking into it too much. This is just a private group he's most likely a part of. It says 2021 COVID Part 2, mustaches optional. Okay, moustaches as we say here in Australia. So it got me thinking about the bridge guy, in the Delphi murder cases of Abby and Libby. How a lot of people thought he might have been wearing a moustache, and other times we just didn't know. Like, has he got facial hair or doesn't he? Is it a shadow? And I just found this really interesting. It just got me thinking about bridge guy, whether this guy's involved or not. Could have been a stuck-on moustache. Could have been a disguise. It might not have been a real facial hair that bridge guy was wearing, that day. So this is just interesting how things are starting to unravel with this. So whether he is bridge guy or not, I just found this really interesting. It really stood out to me. So he's done a quiz here on Facebook. You can do different quizzes, and he's chosen path 4, which is actually a bridge. It looks like one of those bridges that move as you walk on them. But either way, people are freaking out. I've seen a few posts saying, is this, his way of saying, is this another clue of his? He uses symbolism or whatever he's trying to do. Is he trying to hint to us that that's, part of the Monon High Bridge Trail? Or is it just a coincidence again? This is just how it is. I mean, he loves bridges, but as someone had said to me recently, he loves bridges, but not once has he put that High Bridge Trail on any of his, profile. There's no pictures on there. So what's with that, because he likes bridges. He has said he likes to sleep under them. So it's interesting that one's not there, given its historical value as well. So yeah, thank you to Wade who actually mentioned that as well. So these next few posts you're going to see are just other weird ones on his profile, different memes that he said. He has a bit of a warped sense of humor. All of us have a bit of that, I guess, but given everything that you put together, you can kind of see a pattern and kind of build his character through all these things. Thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what you think about all of these things. A lot of you have been following the case. You kind of know what's going on, and keeping up to the recent updates and things. But yeah, let me know what you think about these new finds in the photographs. I mean, that one where he's looking down at his tattoo, or that pink thing between his arm and his chest, really is freaky. Like, it's kind of creepy. I mean, who knows what that thing is. But yeah, it is really creepy. And I know he's drunk. He says he's drunk in the photograph, but I still think he's looking down specifically at something. And it's almost like he is making sure it's in the photo, you know, that he's getting it in the camera. But as someone had said to me also, he's making sure he doesn't reveal everything about it. So that could be true too with that. But let me know what you think. There's so many different things here about this guy. I pray to God that, you know, the little girl will have a speedy recovery, and I know the angels are looking after her and looking out for her, and so many people no doubt will be helping the family, and I send my love and healing to them as well, because it's just horrific what that poor little girl went through. She'll most likely be psychologically scarred for life. But I believe she will have the support around her to help her through life. I know that intuitively. I just feel like the angels have surrounded her with so much love, and I send her that pink light of love as well. I really do pray for her, and thank God that the police found her when they did. Hopefully there's never been any other victims like that connected with Chadwell. But on saying that, I also feel that there might have been, because I don't feel this is the first time he's done this. The fact that he actually had a bed in his basement with chains on there, and locks his basement, is a really scary thought. Maybe he was prepping for this at some point, but you know, it's just so scary. And I read, I think it was on YouTube, I think it might have been John Kelly, the profiler, who actually had said serial killers, or, you know, killers don't just start in their 40s. They, you know, tend to do it more in their earlier years, like maybe their 20s, maybe their 30s, but they definitely don't just start killing people in their 40s. They start at a younger age. So I'm thinking, shit, because he, you know, I believe he was going to kill that little girl. She was near death. So it's just horrific to think about what he could have been doing with other people. And is that another person in that photo with like what looks like a pink shoe, or is it just something else entirely? It could be something that's plastic that's below him. I don't know what he'd be carrying with him that's pink. Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brains with that, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything that's been posted here, guys. I really love reading your comments. And it's interesting to try and get into the brain of a psychopath at that, I feel he is. I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't really diagnose as such, but I do feel there is narcissism there. I do feel like perhaps there is this something going on where he's like two people, you know. It's like a split personality. So it's just very interesting to see that. But unfortunately, he's not just a crim who, you know, receives stolen goods anymore, or drink drives, and that's bad enough, you know, and assaulting prison guards and the police officers. But now he's gone that step further, and as I said, he could have done this before, and it was just this time he's been caught out. We just don't know. But I'll be keeping updates, you know, I'll be keeping an eye on those, and hopefully there'll be some information coming through regarding Abby and Libby, the Delphi murders. If you don't know about it, check it out. There's been many suspects over the years and no real leads, but police are very interested in him. So we'll see what happens, guys, and hopefully get some answers with that as well. So I look forward to connecting with you guys next time. Love and blessings.